Catie Monson, and this is my mom, Shemayne.
Hi, I'm Shemayne Monson. Catie was a volleyball player.
Mm-hmm.
She's 6'3" in shoes. I came home from work one day and I went in and she was flat on the couch. And she'd gone up to hit a ball. She was outside hitter and she had crumpled to her knees and had to crawl off the court because of how much pain she was in her lower back.
So coach sent me home, came home, said, Mom, I don't know what this is. You know, I've been an athlete my whole life and I've never had something quite like this. And so we went and we got first round of x-rays and they didn't see anything. And so we just kept going.
The athletic trainers, they didn't know what to do with her.
Yeah, they really had no answers.
So then we started we went to an orthopedic doctor. We got a really devastating diagnosis of really advanced arthritis. No, she was 16 at the time.
16 at the time.
I was like, what? We don't have a history of that. How? Where is this coming from? Well, then we ordered an MRI, and a different doctor said, oh, she definitely has pars defect. And that's actually a permanent situation like arthritis, and it's pretty devastating too for a child that young.
We saw 3 different physical therapists. I did dry needling, we did,
acupuncture,
yoga, acupuncture in the spine, in the face, you know, all this jazz. And we just kept seeing people and nothing was helping.
We spent $800 on a brace,
Turtle shell.
a turtle shell that was going to immobilize the back, to take off the pressure off the lower back, and to immobilize her. And it was only supposed to be 6 weeks, and then the doctor added an extra couple weeks, and then he added, and she ended up spending 16 weeks in that brace. She was only out of it when she showered. She even slept in it.
It was
and
awful.
all it did was weaken everything. Her core, it jacked up her hip. It was awful. I think the doctor realized it wasn't working, and he didn't have the courage to tell us. And he just kept her in it, which did more damage. And then her fall of her senior volleyball year came. And
I was feeling okay.
She was feeling great. And we worked with a couple of physical therapists, and we felt like things were stronger after getting out of that crazy back brace. And
first day of, 2-a-days going up, and it was the same thing, went to hit a ball and had the same pain in my back, and I thought, no, here we go again. And this time it wasn't a slow decrease, it was a really kind of a rapid descent where I wasn't able to really participate in any of my volleyball matches. And that was really difficult because I was on track to do volleyball in college, to go D1. And once that happened, I still remember coming home and just being like, yep, that dream is gone because I can't get the recruiting information. I can't, perform for coaches to be there. That dream is done. But I was like, okay, I'm not gonna let that diminish me, and so I tried to keep my head up, tried to do as much school as I could, tried to go to dances, couldn't ever stay to the after activities because it was just too much pain.
the day after junior prom, she couldn't function. She couldn't go. It was a Saturday. She couldn't.
Yeah.
She made it through, and then she was laying down for literally 18 hours.
Yeah.
She couldn't do anything on
out.
Sunday. She couldn't move hardly.
Didn't go to school that Monday.
She didn't go to school on Monday. She was crippled. She was just crippled after going to prom.
Yeah. Junior year was really difficult. Definitely fell into a depressive episode. Just because when you're watching, your life go by, it was really just every doctor's appointment. It was just another kick down. There's nothing wrong with you. Why am I sleeping 18 hours a day? Oh, there's nothing wrong with you. Then why can't I make it up a flight of stairs without having to use the handrail? And so it was just orthopedic surgeons. We had a neurosurgeon give input. We saw 3 different physical therapists. We did acupuncture. The list, I think we saw 16 different specialties that, could fix and could solve, because they had all the answers and everything like that. And it was just so aggravating coming to all these doors, all these professionals who have MD, PhD. We go in, we saw all the right people according to, traditional Western medicine. To leave there, here's a set of pills.
Yeah.
And it was just so annoying because it's like, okay, you keep telling me over and over again that nothing's wrong, but here you are giving me prescription strength stuff that I do not want to be putting into my body.
Muscle relaxants.
Because I shouldn't. There's got to be a solution. Pills and medication cannot be the solution to this kind of pain that I was in. We went and saw one more person before we came to manual therapy. Doctor came back in, lovely person, very educated, knew what she was doing, and said, we see nothing, but as far as we know, you're not doing any damage. And that was what I got. And I walked out of there and I don't think I even said a word to you on the car ride home.
We were up in Bountiful.
I completely shut down because I was like, this is not real. This is a joke. This is a joke.
We were 45 minutes away from home, and it was just silent. She was kind of giving up at that point.
Yeah.
She was giving up at that point.
I did.
We actually were at the point where, who cares about volleyball? We don't care about volleyball. We just need this child to have a life. I'm a school teacher. I teach middle school, and another day on the phone with
Right in attendance,
excusing my child. Yes, I know she was only there through third period. I know she's going home. I was apologizing to my homeroom because the phone call took longer than the announcements. And I said, sorry guys, I just had to make that phone call for my daughter or I was going to forget. I had a cute little student on the second row. She said, what's wrong? I said, oh, she's got a really bad back and we just are really struggling. We don't know what to do. And this cute student named Elle says, my daddy can fix her. He has magic hands. And he owns a practice, and she gave me a sticky note. And I was like, okay, that's cute, whatever, but I lost the sticky note. And the next day she followed up and she said, did you call my dad? And I said, no, I lost the sticky note, write it up. So I thought, okay, I have to have integrity and follow through. So I called Rob at Bodyworks, left a message, and then he got right back to me. And I think it was within the week that I was able to get Catie in. He did a huge assessment on her and just went through every diagnosis was wrong. So quickly, just ruled it out. Anyway, he said, oh, it's absolutely the scoliosis. It's like 9% grade. Like it's not even really measurable. They would never do surgery on it or anything. And he said, oh, this absolutely is the problem. And I was like, are you serious? Are you kidding me? And then he just said, we're gonna do this, and then you're gonna come back and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna retrain your muscles. And
I was on this table over here and just realigned some things into these assessments and realized my right leg was
5/7 of an inch longer.
Yes, and all these problems, and my hips were out of place. And once he fixed all that, and then put some ribs back into place, and I remember walking out of your office, and I felt like I was walking this way, because my body, my whole body had dropped, and no one had seen that somehow. No one had seen that I was so out of alignment. It was such a surreal feeling. It was like, okay, wait, no, I've physically can feel a change, and we saw you for a 50-minute period. That was it. And I was like, okay, hold on, I feel a change, I feel it different.
Came in the following week?
Because I had to get realigned again because my muscles weren't used to being that. And after that second appointment, the change was unbelievable. Able to make it through fourth period. I was able to come home
were diminished
and not have to just sit on my couch every day. And I could tie my shoes without having my little sister come and help me, because she would do that. Got to the point where that's where it was at. And it was such a quick turnaround. I was back in my life again. I think I saw you about 3 or 4 times of doing manual therapy. I was able to start participating in practices a little bit. It wasn't jumping all in all at once, but it was, okay, you're gonna do warm-ups and you can scrimmage a little bit with the JV team, and started participating a little bit more there. And it got to the point where I was like, hey, I can play a little bit.
And she was able to play in enough games the latter part of the season, and she got the team to state.
But I was able to play in games, and I think I was able to get six of my senior year volleyball games, and that was more than I thought I would ever get. And so it was such a huge blessing for me just to feel like I was able to wrap up, volleyball, which was a really big part of my life. And even though I wasn't able to do it in college, I was able to have closure for that section of my life because of manual therapy. So last game, actually, I was actually able to be announced and wave at the crowd and have my name called and actually be able to perform. And earlier in the season, we had played this team and we got destroyed. We did. Just soaked up every minute of it because I could. And serving was no issue, and my setter was just spoiling me. It was close down to the very last minute, and I still remember, even though when they hit that and it went in the ground and the game was over and we barely lost and whatever, and I just remember sitting there and just saying, hey guys, holding your heads high, what a way to end.
Yeah, and it was just a really amazing night. And of course, her dad and I we didn't think that we would have that. And a bunch of the people, her coach, everybody was celebrating for her. And people were crying. I was just like, God gave her the opportunity to go out on top. That was definitely a highlight. And she wouldn't have been able to be on the court if it wasn't for Bodyworks.
I am
How do you feel?
Phenomenal. I have to come see treatment for manual therapy about once every 8 or 9 months. But other than that, fully functional in my life. I was able to do my college experience, full-time school, full-time work. I was able to do a study abroad in London. Was able to handle, doing 20,000 steps in a day kind of travel. We were able to go to New York City. Sitting was actually really difficult for me. I can do that now. I can stand for longer than a half hour. And, I'm a school teacher, and I can move, I can sit, I can stand, I can be busy all day, and I can come home and still feel like I can get a workout in. Manual therapy has absolutely changed my life. phenomenally.
Gave her life back.
It was very inconsolable, you know, watching your life move on without you in it. That was not something that I thought that I would ever have to face at the age of 17. It is divine intervention that, you know, your cute little 7th grader is literally an angel in my life. It changed everything for me. And the fact that I can love my life and not just tolerate and just get through my life, the fact that I get to enjoy it and live it and be a part of it and be an active part in it, is everything to me. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for everything that manual therapy has done for me, that you have done for me, because you have been an answer to so many prayers, so many wishes. So